Hi friends, today in this video we are going to see about development of pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, it is also called hypophysis cerebri. So this pituitary gland is developed by means of two important sources. One is ectodermal cell from the stomatium. So this is the ectodermal cells which is evaginating from the stomatium, roof of the stomatium, and then neuroectodermal cells from the floor of the diencephalon. So these two are the major cell origin in the formation of the pituitary gland. So the position of the pouch. So here the point, that is the pouch like which arises from the ectodermal, no, that is called a Rathke's pouch. The commencement of the pouch lies in the junction of the nasal septum and the palate. And after the D-separation, it lies over the hypophyseal fossa of the sphenoid bone. So now we will move on to the development, how the anterior and posterior lobe of the pituitary gland is going to develop. We will see. The pituitary gland consists of two lobes, first anterior and posterior lobe. First we will see the development of the anterior lobe. So during third week, the ectodermal cells which evaginate from the roof of the stomatium. So this is the thing which arises from the roof of the stomatium. So this part we can call it as a Rathke's pouch. The Rathke's pouch which originate in the roof of the stomatium during third week. This ectodermal cells which lies in front of the buccopharyngeal membrane and it lies cranial to the notochord. So above this we can see the neuroectodermal cells which project downwards from the floor of the diencephalon. So during the process of the development, the ectodermal cells which arises from the roof of the stomatium which projects, and this projection is called a Rathke's pouch. So this Rathke's pouch which is surrounded by the mesenchymal cells, so that the separation of this pouch from the stomatium occurs. Now the separation of the Rathke's pouch occur by means of the surrounding mesenchymal cells. So here this is the Rathke's pouch. The cephalic part of the Rathke's pouch forms the anterior lobe, and the cells which coverings the anterior part which becomes the pars anterior, and then the Rathke's pouch, that is the posterior part of the Rathke's pouch which lies over the infundibular part of the which is coming from the floor of the diencephalon which lies over it, that is called pars intermedia, and the cavity like structure which is seen between this pars anterior and the pars intermedia which becomes the intraglandular cleft. So one more projection we can see towards the cephalic, towards the head part of the Rathke's pouch we can see, which is called pars tuberalis. So this is pars tuberalis, which is evagination from the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland, which is called pars tuberalis. Next one is the development of the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. During sixth week, there is the evagination of the neuroectodermal cells which grows downwards as a funnel-shaped structure, and this forms the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. So here we can see this part which lies over the pars intermedia, and this part will becomes the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. So now during the development of posterior lobe, the diverticulum which descend downwards, while this diverticulum which also forms the infundibular part of the posterior lobe. And the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland which lies over the dorsal surface of the pars intermedia. There is a dorsal surface of the Rathke's pouch. The posterior lobe of the pituitary gland is wrist. So even though the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland is of neuroectodermal origin, it doesn't contain the nerve cells. It contains only the neuroglial cells. So that we should keep that in mind when we read about the development of the pituitary gland. So like this, we can see the whole part of the pituitary gland, the mature pituitary gland we can see here. So this is the part just called anterior lobe of pituitary gland, and this one is the pars tuberalis, and this is the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland, and this one is the infundibular part of the pituitary gland, and between these two a cleft like we can see, that is called the intraglandular cleft, and this posterior lobe of the pituitary gland is rest over the pars intermedia, that is pars intermedia only separates the pars anterior and pars posterior. So the mature pituitary gland we can see it like this. So I think I have discussed with you the whole part of the development of pituitary gland. If you like this video, please share and subscribe. Please don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you.